It was precisely 2 a.m., and the moon hung low in the desolate sky as I cautiously crossed the threshold of the abandoned asylum. The air within instantly transformed into a dense tapestry of hushed whispers that seemed to carry the weight of countless forgotten souls. Each step I took reverberated through the desolation of the decaying structure, amplifying the eerie silence that enveloped the place. The flickering lights overhead cast erratic shadows on the dilapidated walls, creating distorted shapes that seemed to dance in harmony with the unsettling murmurs that permeated the air. The asylum, once a place of supposed healing, now stood as a grim testament to the horrors that unfolded within its walls. As I ventured deeper into the asylum's bowels, the atmosphere grew more suffocating, and a tangible sense of dread clung to my every breath. It was then that the whispers coalesced into an unsettling melody, a haunting symphony that seemed to emanate from the very essence of the forsaken building. In the midst of the ghostly chorus, my name echoed with spectral precision, each syllable wrapped in a disconcerting harmony. The disembodied voice, neither malicious nor benevolent, carried an otherworldly weight, as if the walls themselves were recounting the forgotten tales of those who had suffered within. A sudden chill swept through the stale air, and from the shadows emerged a ghastly figure, a manifestation of my deepest fears and anxieties. The specter materialized with a spectral grace, its form a macabre reflection of the tormented souls that had once inhabited the asylum. Its eyes, hollow and void of life, locked onto mine with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. The decaying visage seemed to ripple with the anguish of the forgotten, and its presence instilled a profound unease that permeated the very essence of my being. I stood frozen, caught between the real and the spectral, as the ghostly figure continued its silent approach. The flickering lights cast erratic patterns across its tattered form, creating a disorienting kaleidoscope of despair. The unsettling melody persisted, growing louder with each step the apparition took. It was a discordant chorus of suffering, a symphony of lost souls yearning to be acknowledged in the realm of the living. As the ghostly figure drew near, the echoes of my name became an ethereal chant, wrapping around me like a shroud of the supernatural. The cold, clammy air carried with it the weight of forgotten histories, and I found myself ensnared in the spectral grip of the asylum's haunted past. In that chilling moment, reality blurred with the surreal, and the line between the living and the dead became indistinguishable. The abandoned asylum, a vessel of torment, bore witness to the convergence of the spectral and the corporeal, leading me to grapple with the unsettling revelation that the past was very much alive within those forsaken walls. It was the bewitching hour, the moon's glow filtering through the dense canopy of the forest, casting an otherworldly hue upon the rustling leaves that whispered secrets in the dead of night. The air was charged with an eerie energy, and a palpable sense of foreboding lingered beneath the gnarled branches. As I trod the path of fallen leaves, a spectral trail seemed to materialize before me, the rustling foliage conspiring to form ominous words that hung in the stillness. A chilling curiosity compelled me to follow this spectral script, each step echoing through the silent expanse of the ancient woodland. The journey led me deeper into the heart of the forest, where the trees stood like silent sentinels, their twisted branches creating an intricate web of shadows. Amidst the looming darkness, a clandestine cemetery emerged, hidden beneath the embrace of gnarled trees. The tombstones, weathered and ancient, bore an uncanny resemblance to my own visage. Each grave displayed a chilling tableau, a stone effigy etched with my likeness, as if carved by an unseen hand that transcended the boundaries of time. The dates inscribed on the weathered stones mirrored the present, aligning with the very moment I stood in the spectral graveyard. A profound realization gripped my soul. I was confronted with the unsettling possibility that I was already a resident of this ghostly burial ground. The moonlight filtered through the twisted branches, illuminating the macabre scene before me. The cemetery, a silent testament to an existence trapped between the realms of the living and the dead, held the weight of an inescapable fate. The air thickened with the whispers of the departed, as if the very earth beneath my feet resonated with the murmurs of those who had once walked the mortal coil. In the sepulchral silence, I grappled with the enigma of my own existence. The tombstones, adorned with my likeness, stood as a morbid reflection of a destiny entwined with the spectral forces that governed the forest's ancient secrets. The realization settled like a shroud, a chilling acknowledgement that I may have unwittingly become a denizen of this ethereal cemetery, a mere shadow haunting the liminal space between life and death. The rustling leaves, now imbued with an ominous resonance, seemed to echo the silent whispers of a past that refused to be forgotten. In that spectral glade, beneath the twisted branches and the watchful gaze of my own grave, I stood alone, a living apparition in a cemetery of my own making. The boundary between reality and the supernatural blurred, leaving me to ponder the haunting question: was I a mere wanderer in the forest of the living, or an unwitting resident of a graveyard lost to the currents of time? It was a gloomy evening, the fading sunlight casting long shadows upon the cobblestone street. The quaint antique store, nestled between time-worn buildings, beckoned with an air of mystery. The entrance, dimly lit, emitted an otherworldly glow that hinted at the secrets concealed within its dusty confines. As I crossed the threshold, the musty scent of history enveloped me, and the space seemed frozen in time. A myriad of dusty relics lined the shelves, each bearing the weight of bygone eras. My gaze wandered through the eclectic array of curiosities until it rested upon an old mirror, tucked away in a corner, its frame adorned with intricate carvings that hinted at forgotten craftsmanship. The glass, weathered and speckled with age, beckoned me to peer into its depths. As my reflection materialized in the tarnished surface, a sense of disquiet settled over me. The image staring back at me seemed subtly distorted, a macabre caricature of my own visage. Panic seized my senses as the reflection in the mirror grinned malevolently, its eyes harboring an unsettling gleam that transcended the boundaries of the reflective surface. A cold shiver coursed through my spine as I tried to pull away, but an invisible force seemed to hold me captive, compelling me to confront the twisted reflection that mirrored my every move. In that moment of surreal dread, a cold hand emerged from the glass, its fingers stretching like spectral tendrils, reaching into the dimly lit space of the antique store. The appendage, ethereal yet tangible, grasped my arm with a vice-like grip, pulling me inexorably into the very mirror that had betrayed my reflection. The transition was disorienting, a kaleidoscope of fragmented reality and surreal dimensions. I found myself thrust into a parallel world, a nightmarish reflection of the quaint antique store. The air was thick with an oppressive energy, and the surroundings mirrored the eerie familiarity of the shop, albeit with a sinister twist. My doppelganger, the malevolent reflection that had grinned from the mirror, stood before me, a shadowy entity with eyes that glowed with an ominous luminescence. It was as if I had entered a realm where the distorted version of myself held dominion, ruling with a sinister intent that transcended the laws of the known world. The antique store, now an unsettling labyrinth, echoed with whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls. The relics, once dormant, pulsed with an otherworldly energy, as if attuned to the malevolence that permeated the parallel dimension. I navigated through the oppressive atmosphere, my senses heightened and attuned to the eerie echoes that reverberated through the spectral space. As I delved deeper into this nightmarish reflection of reality, the realization dawned upon me: I was trapped in a dimension where my doppelganger held sway, a puppet master manipulating the fabric of this distorted realm. The antique store, now a haunting stage, bore witness to a surreal dance between the living and the malevolent. In that parallel dimension, I grappled with the unsettling truth that my fate was tethered to the whims of a reflection gone awry. The cold hand that had pulled me into this twisted reality now seemed like an agent of the supernatural, a harbinger of a malevolent force that sought to blur the lines between the tangible and the ethereal.